The Maze MarkBook module provides teachers with a fully integrated assessment package in Maze and eMaze. All data is stored securely in the Maze database, where it is readily available to heads of learning areas and other school management staff. As all MarkBooks are linked to timetable classes in Maze, setup is minimal and students are automatically added and maintained. For schools that use Maze for academic reporting, assessment results can be mapped to specific end-of-term or semester results for reporting to parents. This video covers 3 topics: working with a MarkBook using Maze, working with a MarkBook using eMaze, and setting up a new MarkBook. I am selecting the View MarkBook screen from the menu, which opens in search mode. I've logged in as teacher Mark Barkley, and I will search by his first name to find his MarkBooks and select the one I want to work with. My MarkBook shows the students in my history class down the left-hand side of the screen, and the assessments I've set up as columns across the top. I can track up to 60 individual assessments, which are recorded on one of the 6 screen tabs. The bottom of the screen shows calculated statistics for each assessment, such as the minimum and maximum result, mean result, and standard deviation. I have set up a number of manual assessments. These are assessments I have manually entered a result for, as well as some calculated assessments where the results are automatically calculated based on rules I've specified. Let's firstly look at one of the manual assessments. By clicking on the column heading for one of my assessments, I have opened the assessment view. This allows me to enter raw results, add a comment for a student, estimate a result, exclude a result from any calculations, or enter a scaled result. Attached to the screen is the assessment view report, which provides me with a printout of the information shown on the screen. Closing the assessment view returns me to the View MarkBook screen. The assessment view for calculated assessments is similar. However, I'm not able to enter a raw result, as the result and student rank are automatically calculated. An alternative view of my assessments and the results for a particular student is available by selecting a student and clicking the student name heading. This launches the student view window. The details shown for the individual assessments are identical to what was shown in the assessment view. However, now I'm just seeing the one student on all of her assessments. The MarkBook Student View report, available from this screen, allows me to obtain a printout, which is particularly useful for parent-teacher interviews. This concludes the first part of this video. Now let's have a look at working with a MarkBook using eMaze. I've already opened eMaze and logged in as the teacher Mark Barkley. I click on the View MarkBook quick link and use my first name to find the MarkBooks I've created. I'm selecting the Year 10 History class. As you can see, the information shown in the MarkBook view in eMaze is identical to what was shown in Maze. I also have access to the assessment view, available through selecting the hyperlink shown as heading for my assessments, and the assessment view report can be printed directly from this screen. Now that I've returned to the MarkBook view screen, I can also launch the student view, this time by selecting one of the student name hyperlinks. Again, the information shown is almost identical to what is available in Maze, and the student view report is also available to be printed directly from the screen. This concludes our session on working with a MarkBook in eMaze. The next part of this video will take you through the process of setting up a brand new MarkBook. This could be done in eMaze or Maze. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be using Maze. I'm opening the MarkBook setup screen and start by selecting New to create a new record. I use my name in the MarkBook description and select my Year 11 History class as the class I'm creating this MarkBook for. At this stage, I have the option of copying the assessment structure from an existing MarkBook. This would copy the assessments and any associated rules. To continue with the manual setup, I select the next step, which is linking this MarkBook to the current timetable period. Selecting the Assign View Link Timetable hyperlink launches the relevant screen. After specifying the timetable period and linking my students to the MarkBook, I return to the setup screen for the next step, which is creating some assessments. To add a new assessment, I'm selecting the Add Assessment link. I start by setting up 2 manual assessments with an integer results type. The first one has a maximum result of 20. The second one will have a maximum result of 25. As my next result, I'm adding a calculated overall test result, which I will calculate as a weighted average based on my 2 manual test assessments. For calculated assessments, the calculation rules need to be established. So I'm clicking on the calculation rule hyperlink and set up my calculation based on the 2 assessments I've previously configured. The last assessment I'm going to create is a manual assessment. I'm going to base on an assessment scale of S for submitted, N for not submitted, and L for late submitted. After returning to the assessment screen, I can close this screen to return to the MarkBook setup, and from there click on the View MarkBook hyperlink to view the MarkBook as it stands at present. I now have a MarkBook I can work with, and I will start entering some assessment results. At a later stage, I can return to the setup screen and set up further assessments if and when required. As you will notice, my calculated assessment column is showing calculated results as soon as I start entering data for one of the manual assessments. This concludes our Whirlwind Maze MarkBook tour. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for your time.